Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. I'm your host, Jason Marshall. This week on the show, we got comedian, booker, actor, author, Facebook user, Mike Canestaro.
There you go. That last criteria is the most important. Facebook user. Yes,
exactly.
Thank you. Great to be here again. And I hope people aren't going to get too tired of me. I was just here 6 weeks ago or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe you can be one of the monthly regulars. Mama Kate, she was my first monthly visitor. And Kenny Bolin is asked to be on every month. So
right.
maybe we'll throw you in the rotation.
I know the way here now, almost by heart. The drive here. I mean, do people know about, your listeners know about the drive here?
They know I live out in the country and
it is
a long way away from most places where people do comedy.
It is. You must be attentive.
And if you take a wrong turn, well, I mean, you can always turn around somebody's driveway, but it's going to be a while before you can turn onto some other road to loop back.
That's right. But if, you never know out here. I grew up in a rural area. And if you turn in someone's driveway, sometimes they don't take too kindly to that either. So you're just like, ee. Yeah, it's very picturesque, though. So I enjoy the drive out here.
One thing I wanted to get into right off the bat, I look at this show as a place where people try to escape from things. So when there's a terror attack or riots or things like that, I don't even bring it up.
Nah.
But this election, I don't really know what to say about it.
Yeah.
And apparently other people don't either, because I have no clue who won. No news agency is talking about it. No one's talking about it on Facebook.
No, I think everybody's holding back for now. And it's one of those things that people on Facebook are really polite. And, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like living out here in the country, where people they keep their opinions to themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing. That's why I'm on Facebook.
That's why you're a Facebook user.
Yeah, that's why I'm a user. That's why I use it. And I recommend it. Yeah. Twice daily.
So if anybody out there has a clue who won, because if you knew who won, I think it would be talked about more than it is now. But if you know who won, send me an email, jason@wedon'thavecookies.com. I'm in the dark, and I think a lot of people are.
I do know a little shred of something that I heard, that Jill Stein is making a big move.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know much more than that. When she made fun of the comedian being oppressive.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she said something about there was it Colbert? Somebody made some remark, and she made a thing about oppressive comedians, and I'm like, yeah, I've been oppressed by comedians. It's not pretty. It's not. But I hope that your listeners will help you out with that, because it's hard to get any information. It almost feels like we don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Because the election was last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And not a word.
It was looking like right now Jill Stein has got a real good...
Well, with that being pretty much the only thing I've heard in weeks about anything with the election, I have to assume that's probably who is winning.
Yeah, and we are in a swing state.
Last time you were on the show, you had a book that was about to come out.
Yeah. It's not about politics.
No.
Yeah. It actually is.
Is it? Well, the politics of...
It's about the politics of comedy. And it is out. It's called Not Making It. If you want to find it, you could try to spell my name, or you could just go to Amazon and type in Not Making It, or go to Google and type in Not Making It. Probably Amazon would be a better thing. It's the first thing that pops up when you go type it in. But it's about a guy. It's not much of a stretch, actually. They say write what you know. Mm-hmm. And it's about a guy who got into comedy later in his years. He's got a family life, and so he feels like he's a bit of an outcast. But because of his older years, he also gets to be put in charge of running a lot of the shows, kind of like he runs an open mic. Then there's a lot of characters that sort of intertwine. If you've ever done comedy, or you want to know what it's like to be in the trenches of comedy, I think it would be an entertaining read for some folks.
And if you want to know more about the book, we actually went more in depth about some of the characters and things like that on the last episode that you were on. That episode was titled Not Making It. Mm-hmm. So I'll have a link to that in the show notes if anybody's interested in hearing that. Going back to you being a Facebook user,
yes,
which you're very proud of. That's one of the things on every poster that I've seen with you, that right under headlining,
Yep.
Facebook user, Mike Canestaro.
I'm going to start using that more. I should just,
Facebook's really popular,
all my
man.
appearances.
You want to capitalize on that popularity and ride that wave.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, sometimes I say the wrong thing and I lose like 5 people in one state. But, then that's just the people, wash them out, man. Get rid of them.
But you have a Facebook page for the book, too.
I do. You're just not making it. It's got a red cover. I have a promotional video on there with my dad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can click on his ass and it sends you to another YouTube video. You know what I did? This is funny. Have you ever made a YouTube video and you want to put a link in it?
Mm-hmm.
And I was silly enough to think that you could put a link to Amazon. But you can put a link to another YouTube video. You can put a link to a Kickstarter. You can put, and there's about a list of like 25 different links. So you guys out there who want to make a YouTube video, you can't link to Amazon. So then I'm like, shit, I made this video with my dad. And I'm like, click on his ass because he was bending over. I made him bend over. It was kind of a little funny little skit. I'm sorry, I totally spoiled it, but I'm pretty sure no one will actually go there and do it. It's 3 clicks away. So I just might as well tell you about it. Then I just went to another YouTube video that says, it's got silly music and it just says type in not making it to Amazon. So, oh well.
Well, you know what's funny is I saw somebody share the video, but their little thumbnail for the video wasn't the same one that was on your post.
Yeah.
In the title, they put, click on that ass.
Yeah.
And in the thumbnail, where you had to click was your face. One, they didn't really look at this, or they did, and they think you're an ass.
Well, hey,
I'm not sure how to
I gotta say, my wife one time told me we were having some sort of strange conversation, and it was like, what's the most attractive part of somebody? And my wife said that my most attractive part is my ass. And I was thinking like, well, that made me feel pretty good till I realized that she chose that over my face. So, and then I didn't feel so pretty after that, it's just, geez. Okay, well then click on my face. I don't care. Click on something because, I got a kid that's going to go to college soon. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully everything works out with the book. It takes off. We'll see that on a bestsellers list somewhere down the line.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not killing it right now, but I do have. I've had them trickling in, which is cool. And it's not Black Monday yet, it's not Cyber Monday yet. When everybody lumps all their purchases on the Amazon to get the free shipping. So I'm holding out for Cyber Monday. Glad that you're helping me put the word out. Put the good word out.
So the vibe I'm getting as far as a bestsellers list is it's not making it?
It's not making it. It's too non-conventional. It's too narrow. It's too narrow for wide acceptance because, who out there is really interested in what it's like to be a comedian? Some people. Actually, there's a new movie coming out with Richard De Niro, which is going to be called The Comedian, where he's going to go through some challenges. Actually, one of the characters in there is a former washed-up Hollywood star who became an insult comic. And I tried to make his name as close as possible to the actual person. His name is Paulie Beach. You could probably guess who I'm talking about here. But then the main character falls in with the guy a little bit, and then he gets himself into a lot of trouble because hanging around with headliners in comedy, it's hit or miss, man. You might get yourself into some trouble.
Well, there was a novel written. It was an Irish writer.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole story behind that is he wrote the whole novel in a single unbroken sentence and won the UK's Goldsmith Prize.
That sounds painful.
That's pretty impressive because how long do you have to be to classify as a novel? It's
I'd say anything over like 30,000 words or something could be a novel. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was 40, but I could just be making that up.
That'd be about 200 pages-ish, so...
got to be a lot of commas.
Who's not gonna read that is someone with OCD. You can't only read half a sentence and then just quit. So they would just have to read that whole thing. But it's interesting. It's non-conventional, so I'm interested in it. It's kind of... on Amazon, how they give you a little peek at it?
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to see what that is. You got to be curious, right?
It would be really nice if the peek that they showed you, they limit to, we'll just put the first 8 sentences of the book. This is one sentence.
Yeah,
you actually get the whole book.
And you get to read the next 7. You can bitch about not getting your money's worth, not getting your clicks worth. That's interesting. I like different things, though. I'm going to try in my next project to write something different.
So you already got something in mind?
I do.
Okay, great.
It's going to, I'm not ready for the title yet, but it's going to be a spoof on romance novels and a spoof on Westerns. It's going to be a cowboy who feels insecure as a man because he's got irritable bowel syndrome and anxiety and asthma and whatever else I could think of. And then he gets involved with a woman. I think I'm going to call it irritable pistol syndrome or something like that. And it's going to have, my daughter's going to illustrate the cover. And so it's just going to be, he's going to have comfort issues like we do in modern day society, but applied to the West, so it'll be like, he'll go into a saloon, but he'll ask what the specials are, and the guy will be like, we serve whiskey, it'll be like, he'll have a modern day, he'll be like a visionary of how pansified we've become in the older West. And he won't score with any women because his body issues will get in the way. I already got a basic layout, and I'm just now writing in a notebook the storyline of it, and it'll just have to fill itself in as I write it. But
make him like a metrosexual cowboy.
It's going to be, I think, something of that lines, but I think he will just have extreme comfort issues. And then he'll also have a consumerist mentality. So whenever he goes into a business, like, the saloon has the whores upstairs, he'll always be like, why are the whores upstairs? They'll be like always something like, what's the name of the saloon? Don't got no name. Well, that should have a catchy name, and then like, is the kitchen open? Just stuff like that, just in the going to the saloon. And I think what he's going to do is he's also going to break down the fourth wall. So he'll just be pissed about whatever's going on, that it's too cliche. And then once in a while, he'll step outside and give the reader a little view that it's a book. So his, fiance will say, when you're going to be back? And he'll be like, about 160 pages, something like that. So I think that's weird, but so is writing a novel with just one sentence. So the thing is, you got to give people something a little different. That's what I'm always trying to do. Something no one's done before.
You never know what's going to work. I mean, who would have ever thought that one sentence?
You know what? And if it doesn't work, that's okay. You did something different, right? I mean, So the thing is, I'm trying not to look at how many copies of this book I've sold or I'm going to sell, and just going to focus on writing the spoof Western romance novel where he strikes out. So that's my therapy. Hope people go buy it. Hope people give me nice comments about it. Someone wrote a nice review the other day, so that's up there if you want to read it on Amazon. So
okay.
That's my whole goal.
That gave me the idea of a PC cowboy. He's protesting scalping because it's too stereotypical. And he doesn't mind that you're hurting people. Yeah. It's just the visual
too
image.
Cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too cliche, and it's also just, geez, come on, Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna borrow from that somehow. Yeah. Got to think of some PC things that a cowboy would do.
Now it's got the wheels turning. I'm trying to think of different things that he
Maybe your listeners will help bail me out, make a comment, and let me know what I need to do with this cowboy that's going to be, he's going to be like a vision of the future 100 years early, and it's going to take place in a town called Stickety Wicket, Texas in 1875. So we got 135 years we got to go look out. What's going to happen? He's going to already demand these things from the little town he goes into, and he's upset with his occupation. He's not a real cowboy. He just took somebody up on a bounty because it thought it'd be an easy way to prove he's a man. But he totally falters at every step. So that's kind of the deal.
They didn't have paper cups or anything back then either. Because I was going to say he could complain that everything is glass.
You drank out of a canteen back then, but
I was thinking he could complain at the bar that everything's glass and you can't recycle
it. Yeah, I know. I like that. And then, they're always...
Can't you just pour it into my canteen? It's reusable. It's right here on my hip.
One thing he's going to do is, how when a new guy walks into a saloon, everybody's playing cards and there's a guy playing a piano and everything stops, So that's going to happen, but he's going to no, guys, look, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't want to get in the way of everything. Just keep going. Why? And then after the third time, he's just like, stopping. So there's a lot of cliches in Westerns that could be funny to write about if people would tolerate them.
He starts advocating for male prostitutes just to bridge the gender gap.
There is a huge... it's
100% women up there. What if a woman wants a prostitute?
It's a glass ceiling, literally, for a guy.
Well, we're going to go back to something that we talked about last year, and that's the National Toy Hall of Fame. I can't quite remember what the controversy was last year. It was something where we were debating the validity of the inductee. It was something really obscure where it was like, that's not really a toy.
Okay.
Well, this year, the inductees, I guess it's going to be an annual thing now. Why not?
Why not?
The inductees are Care Bears. I'll give a thumbs up to that.
Okay, yeah.
Clue.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
a game, but it's still a toy.
Always that's one of the,
and it's a classic game.
And if you had to do a top 10, don't you think Clue would be in there?
Yeah, because they even made a movie about it.
Yeah.
Nobody's making movies about Uno.
No, sure that'd be the most. It'd just go in reverse.
Actually, I would like to see that.
It would go backwards once in a while.
And that was actually the next inductee was Uno.
Yeah.
The one where I think this is pretty much the same issue we had last year, Bubble Wrap.
That's bullshit.
No.
I'm going to protest that.
Bubble Wrap beat out Transformers to be inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's not a toy. And now I'm actually thinking if someone was smart, they would sell Bubble Wrap just for people to play with. Like you could just put it in a toy store and sell it and just market it like it's a toy. You know what I mean?
And Toys R Us has a Bubble Wrap section.
Yeah, or just something like just
you just cut your own length.
I mean, it would be hard to no, it'd be easy to ship. It wouldn't break. Probably wouldn't break. You just have like a pillow-sized thing of Bubble Wrap you just unfold. The thing is, how much would that be worth, right? When you buy it for packing, you're talking about cents.
Yeah.
But then you charge like $4.99 for that shit. Mm-hmm. That would be pretty smart. Of course, I don't know, it'd probably be...
You could put designs of cartoons and stuff, and they could just pop away while they look at My Little Pony.
A board game where you pop a bubble, and then whoever pops all the bubbles wins, like Battleship.
There you go. Yeah. I like that.
That way you do that. You just, I don't know how you do it, what the game would be, but you'd have just a little line, and whoever popped the other person's bubble, and you throw a dice, and you get to pop that many bubbles, and then when it's all gone, you win. Then you get to pop your own.
This whole show is just how to get ideas for the future.
How am I not selling more books with all these brilliant ideas?
We're going to hash out that PC Cowboy book.
I can't. And I wrote a book for comics who have no money and don't read books. I'm a brilliant capitalist. Now my bubble wrap board game is just going to take off. I don't know why I'm not a monthly guest.
Maybe you will be.
I'm just kidding.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, right? I guess we're getting into the cowboy thing. We're going to take a quick break right quick.
Yeah, take a break.
We'll be back.
Quick.
I'm gonna make it fast. Forget the people who are in my past, unless they can introduce me to some Hollywood producer who can help me skip some steps along the way and make a name for myself here in LA. Then laugh at the people who can barely pay their car, their gas, their acting class, their rent, their bills, their weight loss pills, gym membership, their pecs, their tits, their $70 parking tickets. Fuck everybody, it's easy to see that no one else is as deserving as me. I've put in my time, now it's time for my time. But why isn't anyone waiting in line to see me? What about me? I'm working 60-hour weeks, driving back and forth between the Hollywood peaks. At night I start my moonlighting, taking names and networking. And if I'm lucky, I get a couple hours of sleep. I count calories and carbs every time I eat, but that's the price you pay to stay skinny and chic. Just 10 more years of trying my best until I'm an overnight success. Think I'm going insane, but you never guess, because I suppress all my fear and stress. I'm trading my life for the life I adore, completely forgetting who I was before. I can't wait till I'm famous and finally there. I'll have everything and nobody to share it with. It's gonna be awesome. I'm stuck in traffic, but that's okay. This isn't my car, but it will be one day. This is my apartment, I only pay $1,200 a month. Plus utilities. It's been 10 years and I'm still here. Any second now I'm gonna get that phone call. He's gonna say, hi, I'm the top-notch guy. Are you ready to be paid way too much money? And I'm gonna say, I've been waiting for this day for 9 odd jobs and too many birthdays. But that hasn't happened yet, and I'm 38 and I've started doing drugs to pretend life's okay. It's gonna happen soon, any second now. I'm gonna be alright, don't you worry about me. Soon you will see this was all worthy of all my money and identity, friends and family, getting married, having babies, being happy, eating weekly, selling my body. When everyone sees that I'm more important than them. I just want to be loved by everyone. I just want to be loved by anyone.
Do you have an impression request for Marco Fuji or just want to contact the show? Send an email to jason@wedonthavecookies.com.
You can also call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail. And I got a voicemail from My Cookies. I'm going to have that on the next show. I'll explain why at the end of the episode.
Oh, you got to tune into that.
Yeah.
That guy's a trip. I mean, I'm tuning into it because I got to hear that one.
I really appreciate it. It's not like he just picks up the phone and makes shit up while he's talking.
It was well thought.
You know?
No, he thought it out. I did think he improv'd a little bit with the last one. But it was plain cookies. Plain cookies.
I think there was an episode with Dave Pregg where he had a 2-dimensional cookie or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really appreciate people actually putting thought into the voicemails instead of
I just wait for the day when he's a call-in guest. You know? Yeah.
That'll be coming soon too, hopefully.
I hope so. Keep sending them in there, Cookie Dude. What's his name again?
Mike Cookies.
Mike Cookies.
Yeah, I thought it was Mike Zucky, but
Mike Cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
All right. Well, this is kind of close to home because this happened in Dayton, Ohio. A mom closes the living room until Thanksgiving. Her sons aren't allowed in there, and apparently the dogs quit going in there because they kind of picked up on a vibe.
Yeah.
I know the holidays are coming up, and you want to keep things presentable, but it seems a little far this soon into November. She went through, she cleaned it up, and then she closed off the area with a little note saying that you have to have special permission to go in there. And you have to address her by a certain name. I'll try to find some of those names because it was pretty funny. But
you know what that makes me feel? You know what it sounds like? If you have any people listening who are Italian, you know exactly what I mean. If you got people that are like a couple generations older than you and they're Italian, they got like this preservationalist room that you can't go in. And then I don't know if that's what she's trying to pull off, the same sort of thing, but just seasonally.
She just wants to keep it clean for the people who are coming on Thanksgiving. In order to ask permission, you have to call her either mom, which I think is pretty easy, pair of the bills, chauffeur, queen of the castle, person ruining your life, bossy bitch in charge, whatever works for you.
That's very interesting. But I feel her pain, though, because if you have kids and dogs, it's hard to keep a room clean at any particular time. I got 2 teenagers that are, female, and I'm like, this place is a wreck. You go into their bathroom, there's a yogurt container in there, like the half eaten from this morning when they got on the bus. And so I feel a little bit of her pain, actually. I feel a little bit. I think she's the frustration level built up, and then she's like, I've had enough. You ain't going in here. That's it. Just plastic off the whole damn thing.
Well, with teenagers, too, they got a lot of stuff going on. You have to take them here and there. a lot of school events.
Yeah.
You finally have a day where you can get it pristine. You just shut that bitch down.
Yeah, you
Why
do.
not?
Just freaking, get it. Yeah, that's what I would say. Dog and everything. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I don't know the dynamics, but I understand what it's like, I think. I understand her thought process.
Which leads to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, because we've went over a lot of bizarre stories. This may be the most bizarre story I've ever came across.
More bizarre than pigeons? In the pigeon shit one? Okay,
I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
I'll let you tell. Sorry.
No, that was very bizarre. So maybe this might fall behind that.
I don't know.
It kind of has something to do with Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It's a guy that creates functional pottery.
Mm-hmm. Isn't all pottery sort of functional in some way? Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, that can be bowls, mugs, vases, jewelry. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I'm thinking plate or a mug or something like that.
Yeah.
The functional pottery is made using human remains. So if you know somebody who's been cremated.
Really?
And you just want to get that thing off the shelf. You're like, you know what? This urn is really bringing the room down.
You can make a mug out of Grandpa.
Yeah. Would you ever do that? When your wife dies, are you just going to
drink out of her?
You know what?
Ask Uncle Eon. I know he carries around her ashes in his pocket.
See, that would be very convenient for him. Now he doesn't have to worry about dropping them or.
You know, the thing that would be
he could make a piece of jewelry. Sorry.
The first question out of my mouth would be like, is that thing glazed? Because it better be. You know, like that thing glazed as hell.
That's actually where the ashes are, is in the glaze. Yeah.
You might be drinking some of somebody in a little way.
That's what I'm thinking. It's if it chips, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
You just became a cannibal. In a weird kind of way.
I was going to do this the way I was going to do the episode with Dwight McCormick, where I asked, is this sweet or is it psychotic for somebody to...
Sometimes it's a very narrow line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one of those where it's like, it is kind of somewhat of a heartwarming thing where a loved one passes away.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's your wife or something, and every morning she made your coffee or you had coffee together or whatnot, and now she's your coffee mug.
That's great.
Maybe that's sweet, but on the same note, I don't even have to go into it. That's fucking psychotic.
It's sweetly psychotic, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like that guy who made a drone out of his cat. You know, the helicopter drone out of his cat. You know,
really?
He just had his cat stuffed, and then it has propellers on it, and he made a drone, and it's just got all four legs spread out. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Just put helicopter cat. It's got to come up. And it looks like a cat with each paw has a helicopter, like rotors.
Yeah.
That's really actually very interesting, but I guarantee he sells some of them to somebody.
Oh, yeah. He's made a business out of this.
Yeah, so I guarantee somewhere... That's interesting.
How shitty would you feel if you broke the plate? You know what I mean?
Well, you just put it right back in the urn. You just save some in the urn. You just send some of the ashes, and then you break it. Just scoop it right back in. Oh well. Yeah, you would feel really shitty if you broke it.
Yeah, it's like they died all over again.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever do that. I feel uncomfortable enough about having to manage. I do know my dad wants to be cremated, and he wants us spreading his ashes around. And so I'm like, where, Dad? Where do you want to spread? Just wherever I like to. That's my dad. You heard him. He called in. Wherever I like my favorite places. And I'm like, okay, so the dollar store, and then what? And how am I going to spread you over the dollar store? Inside? Where? What's your favorite section? It's scary. I got to try to at least shake him down for a list.
Well, now you'll have to float that idea to him as you spread it around in a matching cup set for all his kids.
I know.
And then when you guys get together over the holidays, y'all bring your cup. It's like Voltron with your powers combined. Dad's here for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, geez. That's crazy. So, yeah.
You might like that idea.
I'm going to have to shake him down for a list, and we ain't making no cup out of him. Damn.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I don't know if I could bring myself to ever do that. If I really love somebody, to just take their urn somewhere.
I'd like to know what else he made. I mean, somewhere he made like a gravy boat, because Grandpa loved his gravy or something. You know that there was something weird in there. It wasn't just a mug or a plate.
Well, I can see vases and mugs, plates, but it also listed jewelry. That's the part that I don't understand, because you can't really make a ring out of a body.
Yeah. Ooh, that's crazy.
I guess they just make, matching earrings and a little brooch to go. There's a lot of jewelry involved in using up all those ashes.
It'd be the whole Aunt Bee ensemble, or Grandma Betsy, whatever,
Yeah,
that's nuts. And I guarantee he sells more than my book.
He must be doing pretty well, because it's a whole business on itself.
I bet he's doing well with the nostalgic.
Let's see where this guy is. I think it was in New Mexico. So
he's got plenty of,
Yeah, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
That's kind of the artsy area of New Mexico. I don't actually. I've been there before. That's a kind of little artsy town there.
Shout out to Chronicle Cremation Designs.
Chronicle Cremation Designs. Call in.
I might try to get that. I'm totally serious about this. I might try to get that guy on the show. I really might.
Yeah. That would be cool. Another good suggestion is that lady out at UD who protests because she got a B. She's actually from Indianapolis, and she's protesting the fact that she got a B. She thinks she earned an A, and she's been protesting out there at UD for years now. I don't think anybody's seen her. Years. We're
Holy
talking
shit.
10 years, and she got a B.
Sounds like a real bee.
She is a real B. But,
Holy shit, 10 years?
Yeah, she's just nuts. If you typed in UD crazy lady, you might pop up.
Okay, I'll check that out. Have you ever lost your wedding ring?
Mm-mm. But I would have that problem. I have a real skinny finger and it's loose on there.
I've taken mine off here and there to do things around the house because I didn't want to get messed up.
Yeah.
My wife found it in the laundry or something like that. And of course she gives me shit about it. And I mean, nothing mean, just fucking with me. But
yeah.
This man lost his wedding ring while he was gardening. His wife said it'll come up one day.
Yeah.
And she ended up dying. About 3 months after she died, he found it. Okay. Which is the only reason I bring that part up, because it's kind of sad that he finds it after the fact. I think a lot of people would think that's her speaking to him through.
Yeah.
He was outside messing with his garden, pulls up a carrot, and his wedding ring is around this carrot. It grew around it. I'm going to have a picture in the show notes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of it right now.
That almost sounds like she was trying to say, look, at least this thing will wear its wedding ring. Oh, dang. Oh, it really choked it off, too. Well, that's what wedding rings do.
Apparently, they
choke things. It's really constricted around the picture. Is constricting that carrot pretty badly.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Yeah, I know a lot about carrots because I don't know. Do you know that I'm a Facebook user? And
I've heard that about you.
But I do. When I pull up my carrots, there's lots of them that come out funny, and that's because when they'll take the path of least resistance. When they, push it's a root and it pushes into the ground. And so if it hits a rock, they'll split and then they come out looking like people. And so I do have every fall, I post pictures of my carrots. And, sometimes it's like a dude chasing a lady and then he's got a thing that looks like a penis and she's running away because they naturally come out looking like hips. Now, what happened with that carrot, I could tell by that photo, is it grew right through the wedding ring and then it grew out.
Yeah.
And then it actually, that is such a improbable thing to happen because, you need to space carrots 4 inches apart. He might have planted carrots years after years after year and it never got in there. And it had to be turned away so that it was parandicular. Perpendicular. It has to be parallel with the ground. And then it grew into it and got fat. And then he pulled it up. That's amazing. That would be a good thing. You lost your wedding ring, just plant carrots, man. Because that's the only thing that will really, if you grew something with different kinds of roots, that wouldn't happen. But root vegetables, they'll poke down and they'll get fat.
It turns out this isn't the first time it happened. In 2011, a Swedish woman's missing ring was also found with the help of a carrot.
There you go.
So I think you're right, man. If you're missing a ring, just start planting carrots all over your yard.
Put carrots all over, man. They're beasts too. They don't, they'll grow through anything. So interesting. He must have felt like there was some sort of otherworldly type help going on there. But if it was probably her saying, Here, this carrot will. I want the carrot. No, okay, that's mean.
That would be weird because she just died like 3 months before he picked this carrot out of the ground.
Yeah.
So that has to be in the back of your mind.
Did he make a mug out of her? That's really the dedication. Well, you could hook those two people up, Santa Fe Creative Cremation Designs or whatever it is.
He could have his wedding ring glazed.
Yeah. He just glazed the whole carrot.
Oh, man. We're going to hell.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's a lady in Ohio. She was in Cleveland. She took an Uber. And the person who was driving her was the guy who voiced all the You Got Mail stuff for AOL.
He should incorporate that somehow.
And that's some shit.
Yeah, that is some. Yeah, we always just remember You Got Mail, but then there was other stuff too. Yeah, welcome. He should just say that right when you get in.
That would be
welcome.
Great. She did a little YouTube video with a guy. And I don't think it was in the YouTube video. At least I didn't see it. But I did read in the story. I think he got $200 or something for doing those short clips.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what I was expecting him to get. I thought it would be more than that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he did only say a couple of words.
Yeah. And back then, when the way that might have worked, knowing what I know, is he might have just signed a release form and no one knew AOL would be what it was. Because it used to be, you get the internet, you had AOL.
Yeah.
There was really not any other game in town,
And it came on a disc.
Yep. And so that's the thing, is he probably didn't know that this would explode, this whole newfangled email thing.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
That's funny.
She had him doing all the different things that he said on the YouTube video. It was
See, now they always talk about you never know what you're going to get when you get in an Uber, and that's a thing. But now that guy, don't they have like feedback ratings so you can kind of see who your Uber is, and then you can...
Yeah.
Well, there you go. He should sell that. I was the AOL guy. And that should be part of his profile.
I think you're onto something, though. Every time he gets in the car, that's exactly what he should say.
Yeah, it should be like, welcome. And then, when you pull up to someone's driveway, if the flag is down, you could be like, you got mail. He could do everything.
You should just make little thank you cards. And when he goes to drop you off, he hands it to you.
Yeah.
And he says, you've got mail.
Yeah. That's interesting. That poor guy he was immortalized, though.
Yeah.
So...
there was even a movie called You Got Mail.
Yeah. I mean...
Based on AOL's mail service. I mean, that's...
Everybody recognizes that. Then there'll be these young kids who don't know what the hell that is.
Well, that brings us to this week's Dumbass of the Year. It's 2 New Jersey men who took a taxi to go burglarize a house.
No record of that with no witnesses or anything.
They get back in the taxi with all the shit they stole.
Yeah.
The guy drops them off where they presumably live, and they stiff the taxi driver. So, of course, he turns them in, and they go to jail.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous. That's just not... That's short. You know what? He pays that cabbie. I think they're scot-free.
Probably.
I don't think that they're going to connect the dots that fast. That's, I don't know if they were out with it and that they might have just told the driver, like, hey, I got to pick some stuff up. And then you pick up all the stolen shit. You pay the guy. And then I guess once you get stealing, you're on a spree. Why not just go 10 houses down?
Yeah, they came out with a television and several liquor bottles.
Well, they hit it big, man. Yeah, several liquor bottles and television.
It's not like they found all this jewelry after the fact.
Just a television. Where's that fit? And liquor bottles.
That was the part that got me. I mean, it's not like this is what the cabbie saw them bring back. This is what they were arrested for.
I do got to say that I don't know much, but I know that one of the bars that I know in town was robbed. And when the guy couldn't steal the cash register, he stole a bunch of liquor bottles. Now, that sounds laughable, but some of those liquor bottles are expensive if it's the right kind of...
Yeah, if you get the top shelf stuff.
Top shelf, like scotch and stuff. I don't know. So then I guess that's plan B. You could tell these guys had plan B in mind, It's tough. That's hard to carry. How many liquor bottles can you carry?
Well, there were two of them.
Yeah,
So presumably
with the
one
TV.
guy had the TV and the other guy just got as many as he could carry.
You know, TVs got a lot easier to steal when they became flat. I got to say that.
Yeah.
You know, like, there used to be these gigantic things, and then you know, stealing a TV was still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
People would steal your TV, but now it's like you could probably carry 2 TVs if they're the right kind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, it's dumbass of the year, crowned for sure.
Yeah, just pay your taxi driver, like you said, and I really don't think they would have gotten caught.
Yeah, because he probably has no vested interest in, or at least you get sent to your house, get a little time to recover before a guy turns you in. You know, you got a little. He would like not expedite that kind of thing.
He's just not sitting outside your house on the phone to the cops.
Yeah, I know. So
You didn't even have time to plug that TV in, man.
I know. That's just not thinking.
Maybe they thought they were going to find money in the house, and that's what they were going to pay him with.
They didn't have
I don't
any
know.
money.
And they just thought, well, when we go to, steal all the stuff, we'll look through the sock drawer. There'll be a couple of bucks. We'll give it to the taxi driver.
I went to college in Buffalo. My roommates met these ladies from Welland, Ontario, which is across the border, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, these girls were pretty generous with their physical affections. So one night, late at night, they go calling and they say, look, I was gone here. So actually, I feel really good telling the story because I didn't participate in any of this. But they said, we'll pay the cabbie. They said, we can't come. We got no transportation. And the guy was like, if you come visit us for, we'll pay the cab driver, And so the cab driver gets here. They don't have enough money. And the cab driver goes into my room and takes 30 of my music CDs. That's how he got paid.
Wow.
So I was pissed when I came home, like late at night. I didn't even know. But then, the next morning I found out. Back then, music CDs were a little more valuable. You'd trade them in, and they'd be worth $5,
Mm-hmm.
But I called the cab company up there in Canada, and I said, look, I'm going to take you to a small claims court, or I'm going to call the police. And then he says, well, look, you get them to come up here and pay, and we'll give your CDs back. I got them. They had to drive all the way to Welland, Ontario, and pay the cabbie, and then bring them back. Because I was I threatened I was taking somebody to small claims court or calling the cops, and so then that got my roommate a little more motivated. But then again, he got us later when he didn't pay his rent.
So he had the money. He just didn't want to pay it?
Actually, I think what happened is they underestimated how much money they had.
Oh, okay.
And I think they might have even said, screw the cabbie, you guys are paying for your own. There was a misunderstanding of some form. But the girls came and stayed the night, and then when he drove them back, they had to get my CDs back. I was super pissed. So that was back when I was like 20.
Well, you got anything you want to plug before we go?
Did I plug that my book isn't selling? No. I already plugged enough, and probably my cab story went on too long. So, nope,
No,
got
you're
nothing to
fine.
plug. Just my book is on there, and I'm moving on to the next book. So, appreciate you having me and letting me do it, though.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. And you can
Always.
get that book. It's called Not Making It. That's on Amazon. Like the Facebook page, Not Making It. It's got the red cover of the book right there.
Red's the color of comedy. That
And
was
I
the
think
whole point.
you're, at Mike Canestaro on Twitter?
Yeah. If you could spell my name right. But, it's I'm the only Mike Canestaro, all one thing on Twitter.
And we'll have a link to that in the show notes. It'll be a hyperlink. Just click Mike's name and it'll take you right there.
Cool.
And then you can click follow, and that's all you got to do.
That's right. Yeah. I'm liking my Twitter. And I'm a Facebook user, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
You probably have your Twitter and Facebook linked up, right?
I do. Actually, I have my Twitter go through my Facebook.
See,
So
you're a pro Facebook user. That's why I had to bring it up in the intro.
it is.
How can I not bring that up when I talk about Mike Canestaro?
I don't know how. I mean, I use it a lot.
Probably should have been the first thing I brought up.
It uses me, too.
Well, for those of you interested, Kenny Boland's surgery went well. He's at home, and hopefully he'll be on the show in the next month or so. Next week is the 100th episode. My guest will be Mama Kate, a voicemail from My Cookies, and segments by Eugene Merman, Christina Hughes, and Epic Rap Battles of History. So spread the word, share the show. It's the only way that it can grow. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
Parandicular.